Now I'm at a Colosseum actually, and of course this game being encouraging backtracking and all that, I did quite lots of it actually. I scoured through every place of the castle except those I haven't gone to find all the slightly hidden stuff in there. It actually does not show any unrevealed secrets because there probably isn't so many of them. Because now I have to go and start attacking through the All Roxas walls, which is actually the place to go this time. Of course, I could already be going to the castle keep to see who is there. Of course, as a foreshadowing, it could be said that Belmont would be there, and it is true. Belmont is there, but not actually just. But there's of course a bit of more complex things than just going there and opening a path and getting to defeat the boss. Even though, as a final boss, he's not impressive at all. He's actually more of a complete pushover. And of those relics you can find in the game, you can switch them off. So I've switched off the damage display mostly because I just want to show the nice graphics. Enemy names this place I kept keeping, and if there's a distinct sound between you hitting damaging enemy and not, so even if without the damage display you do know that you're doing anything. And here's one of the many caplings. Yep, that's one of the relics you can find and allow you to do that kind of high jump. It's quite handy, but not quite handy, and those who do speedruns and that swear by it, as it is faster than flying up, but otherwise it's generally not so handy. I would say because it just propels you upwards. And there's some nice background images of prisoners or whatever's coming to look at what's going on at the prison house, and spikes in the roof. You could say that's some sort of foreshadowing or something else, or just a deterrent that don't jump up mindlessly high. Estoc. That's actually a real type of German, I don't remember what is German type of sword, but it's still a real type of sword. With a had a quite long handle, and it had a peculiar trait of being very long and slender. And once again, and for some reason, it would feel to be very appropriate weapon for Alucard's sword. There's been several different forms of I know two. There's distinct forms what kind of sword Alucard would be carrying. It would be either a stock, as in a very long and slender sword with a two-handed handle, or it would be no, I don't want to pick a fight with you because you just run around doing nothing. Bloody zombies! Goddamn bloody zombies! Time to hammer them to pieces. Heart max up, handy. And with this, there's a reveal of a place. Yes, these roof secrets are a bit hard to find. And with that, I have a familiar. So time to get the sword familiar out. It looks nice, and it does nice things. It attacks enemies. And of course, now opening a big path in a chapel, just bit of backdoor openings, more paths to go through. As I think I have said it earlier that I am gonna make this let's play is not showing all the items or all the secrets, because well, there are lots of items or lots of secrets. They are actually quite. This game is not, in a sense, difficult, easy to 100%. Actually, it's spoiled. You can 200% it and actually 200.6% it if you get all the full map of the whole Castlevania to your view. No, not taking that junk. But all rocks, well, it isn't particularly frightening. And this is the only place in the game where you actually might have used for wolf, and it still doesn't matter because you can just use your back form or mist form to get through that place as well. Ah, that's a new kind of door. Oh, damn, no, don't push me here. A nice big room. And a bold-looking dude. Olrox. Yeah, that's the Olrox whose quarters these are. Yeah, he is quite intimidating. But nothing too particularly invincibly dangerous. Yeah, you know magics, I know magic as well. Take some fireballs. The thought by Alucard's path. And if I remember right, his appearance and general style is tribute to classic movie of the Nosferatu. Oh damn. Yes, you know magics. I know magics as well. And Olrox can be quite tough boss. Damn it, I don't want to be killed by him. Oops. Now he's getting to the second phase. Yes, this is a boss which has multiple phases. And he shoots death beams, transforming himself into this. And the faster he spews these bullets means that he's about to take damage. He's, well, actually not about to take damage, but more like about to keel over and die. Come on. Yeah, you got a machine gun in your mouth. I am unimpressed by your machine gun spewery. Come on, don't kill me! Oh yes, I managed to use my magic to destroy Olrox, who gets quite grand display of animation to die. If I would have used the basic form, it would have been much easier just to tank through. Which I quite much did, but the boss is now, well, are not so bad in this game. Of course, knowing that if you don't know, they can kill you if you are careless. And this object echo of the bat is actually quite important, for it gives me an access to a place. Well, it has only one place in the entire game where you need it, but in that one place, even though it strictly is not necessary, it is very useful. So it's not completely pointless. And wolf form has one ability of special super dashing, making it quite able to get to things fast and efficiently. But the actual next place where I'm about to go is within the marble galleries. What's that the place's name? Well, it's still the place it's still the place quite beginning of the game, and with the magic of editing, I have to get there as well to show a bit further to the castle. Oh, at the galleries, or however you wanna call it, and of course, once you look at what kind of enemies you had to face in Castlevania, it becomes quite obvious quite quickly that there's all kinds of weirdness in here. Haunting tables, chairs, and all that kind of stuff. And this room is always very impressive. But it puts me a bit of a, you could say that weirdness about, it's a bit of weird thinking that how in hell has Konami managed to fuck themselves up so badly. Of course they did have Hideo Kojima employed, which, seeing what kind of work, how he's been doing his, things, is that, he is certifiedly brilliant man in his work. Nobody's denying that. But there's the unpleasant thing starts when you employ somebody who's undeniably brilliant, and this guy knows it himself. And of course, being brilliant means he also uses lots of money to his works that, and investors never want to see their money never want to use money. That's some sort of annoying pleasant thing. Nobody wants to invest something like $100 million, or I don't know what kind of sum that is in yen, but nobody wants to invest that kind of big sum of money to an inherently unstable form of production. But I did show that room with the switch, and it allows me to enter underground caverns, place which has appropriately dreary and dour music background. And actually, it has right to be dreary and dour, and time to save it. Yeah, that you do have some sort of human resource personal problem when you employ a genius, and genius himself knows that I am good. You know, you've invested big money on these products or projects I've headed, and they've got good results. They've made money back. So yeah, I need more. Pay me more. And of course, nobody wants to do that. And then happens that the brilliant guy left or was fired. Who knows? Maybe his ego got too big or something like that. I'm not judging that. Although what I have watched about it, exposed to Hideo Kojima's work, is that he's not necessarily genius always, but he certainly is a very good craftsman of his work, who knows the medium. I say he must be one of the best experts in video gaming as medium of storytelling, not necessarily stories itself, but as a medium. And of course, knowing that he knows how to do things, and of course the project I'm referring to, which cost lots of money and did do solid results and was a good product at the end. The Gear Solid 5, which actually was a bloody good one as a game. Still was something that, hey Hideo, we don't want to invest this kind of huge money you spend on this game. Even though it is good and it sold well and audiences liked it, we still don't want to invest that kind of money. When of course then there is fighting and all kinds of quarreling, and the result was quite fucked off. And after that, seems like all Konami has been able to do is fuck up more. In levels that you might also almost count as it has to be deliberate. Are they deliberately trying to fuck over their investors? Because if I remember, I don't know how it is, but it simply is not possible for company with stockholders, which is not in a sense owned by one person or one family or something. And even if it were being in that form of ownership, which just one group of, like, let's say family, it still would not be legal for to actually run it like that. Bullshit, it's my company, I'll run it down if I want to. No, that's not what the law says you can do. If it were your own company, you could just simply decide that I don't want, I sell this, or I just put the whatever products down, and if you have any, let's say, intellectual properties, you could just say that, hey, bullshit, I'm dissolving this company completely, I'm selling everything, and that's it, period. And that could be completely viable done, but you cannot, but law, I mostly think, does not approve of deliberately running company to the ground. And there's another pathway, and you can come to these other caverns much earlier, even before you could fly. So this could be, in a sense, one-way trip to this place. Although it's much better to come in here much later when you do have flight ability, because that allows you to exploit much more efficiently. And there's all kinds of handy, nice stuff. And a bowl of meal tickets. These are that kind of objects which let you to summon food items. And well, Moonstone isn't that kind of item. But there's a savings pot, which I of course use to just gather all the small bits of progress I get. And this looks weird. Nightmare.
Mother!
That voice! Alucard, it's you!
I'm coming, Mother!
That is how Alucard's mother and Dracula's wife died. She was burned at stake for witchcraft or something.
If my death can save others, I gladly surrender my life.
Mother, no!
And she was a very good woman.
No!
Absolutely
Yes,
holy
Alucard.
person.
Watch me die, and remember always my last words to you.
Very hammy.
Yes, Mother.
And
You
Alucard,
must despise humans. They are to be your prey.
What?
Better for them to die than to let them compound their sins. Begin by slaying that one over there.
No, it wasn't like this.
What's wrong? Alucard,
My mother never said such a thing.
what do you mean? Kill them and bring them happiness.
No, you're not my mother. What kind of demon are you?
You broke free of my spell. I like that.
Demon, death is too good for you.
Come here, little boy, and show me what you've got.
Yeah, a succubus, a demon appearing in dreams, and did a stupid mistake of pissing off somebody whose, you could say, power level goes far above her, even though she's wearing some sort of completely, well, I might not say, well, actually it is very anachronistic leather dominant outfit, and actually this succubus has quite appropriately sized wings, not perfectly, I think carry something like human weight person or target.
Darkling, I smell your blood. You're a vampire. Could it be? That strength, that beauty. You're the son of Lord Dracula.
Death in the dream world will set your soul wandering for eternity, demon.
Wait, I beg of you.
Alucard loved his mother. That's good. And she decided to piss on that memory. So means Alucard, he can be very harsh when he has to. And of course, knowing that, you could say that the difference between Alucard and his father in this case is the fact that Alucard is not against punishing against guilty ones, but he's very much against punishing those who have nothing to do with the matter. He's very much against indiscriminate violence. And that difference is just so much which makes Alucard a hero and his father a villain. So they both have assuming you would think that the whole reason of Dracula being mad and power hungry and destroying everything is the fact that wife was killed as a witch. A big fall to this place. No need to save again. But now I'm at the underground caverns, place filled with all kinds of weird stuff. And cold. Nice colorations. And more bosses. Scylla Worm. But that went down way unexpectedly easy. Oops, and water is rising. So yeah, this is a place where you cannot... Alucard does not swim, and he doesn't take cold damage well either. I would say he can take cold damage alright, but he can't swim. Vampires are not known from being good swimmers. And a new boss. Scylla. Well, it actually spews a lot of those. And that's actually quite big boss, although most of it is actually was just background. That was not plot important boss at all. It was just one of the many other creatures you get with a crystal cloak. it's actually got a quite nice effect, enchanted semi-invisible cape. Meaning it has this kind of flickering effect, which looks nice, but it doesn't have much practical purpose. And for some reason, destruction of killing Scylla opened this path, allowing me to find scimitar. There's lots of weapons like these we just scattered about for Castlevania. And knowing that well, there's plenty of nice places within the Castlevania in prettiness. But it's still, you could still make a bit of changing about because you could say that there's the laws of shadow continuity and this classic continuity, but the classic continuity never actually states much further than the fact that it was something like it was either at the 1400s or which is actually the time when real Black Dracula lived, or 1500s when this Dracula came for the first time and the Belmont clan annihilated him or it with a whip. Am I going in the right direction? Actually, yes I am. I've explored these places. Indeed. But these underground caverns have frogs in them. And a box you can push to stop the water flow. And with that, you give harmful and unpleasant death to spearmen, which would otherwise be there stabbing at you. So yeah, oh god, not nice man. At least when he doesn't have to be nice. But better say when he can be very nice and friendly, compassionate and a nice fellow. Although at some cases you might say he's just a surly teenager. Surly teenager about his emotional maturity, hard to say. But even though he is of very noble birth and he does have manners and you could say compassion necessary for that. So in a sense you could say that he's the great combination of traits both inherited both from his mother and father. From his father he inherited ruthless magical power and strength, and from his mother he earned compassion. Oh, that's a hint of something appearing near the wooden bridge. So let's go and check it out already. Yeah, the frogs and big toads, but seeing how big that frog is and that toad is, they are absolutely huge. Ape skeletons. Those bomb-carrying things. And it appeared near the wooden bridge, so that's a big, obvious hint about what you are meant to do, because there's a clear pathway there, but you can't just drop down. But the enemies do respawn. So the trick is quite simple. Knuckle duster. Let the egg come in here. Come on, don't hurt him, sword. And once you manage to lure him here, he blows his bomb and opens up a path downwards, and that remains open. So there's no need to go down there right away. Which is actually in a sense quite nice, good piece of design. And if I remember right, this was more like a game which came into existence mostly which is strange because during that time, 90s, Konami was doing good, and they had a lot of, at least the Silent Hill game got beginning because hey, we have this crew, lots of we have employees from other projects which are going to nowhere, so let's just cramp them together and give them some vague direction of make a horror game, and oh yeah, they start doing it, and they did it, and they made one of the best horror games ever, and of course that team went to make four bloody good games, although you could say that one good prototype came and then 3 absolutely mastered games.
I'll take you to a place which might be interesting for you.
The ferryman takes me across the world. But it's interesting to notice that this first, it is not a big spoiler to say that at the first half of the game there's so much nice things appearing. Actually, no. You could say that there's about a dozen this kind of dialogue bits, or however you want to call it, at the beginning, at this first half of the game, but at the second half, there's 2. I'm not kidding. There's just 2 bits of dialogue, and no, my statue didn't do that what I hoped it would. Come on, get out of the water. Yes, Alucard can't swim, and he actually thinks like a bloody rock when he tries to. But there's $2,000 of money here, and so much moving stuff that game suffers a bit of slowdown. And this is something which would have been appeared at the original one, that it's got nothing to do with the emulation. Buggery doing something, not doing things right. But it's time to head up this place. Shit. To eat some mushrooms and see where this leads. Oh, right at the beginning of the game. Even before you face against death and get your old stuff stolen by him, which actually is a very smart move from Death, and also interesting to note that Alucard isn't so stupid that he wants to pick up fight with the most powerful vampire of all, or more like most powerful incarnation or embodiment of evil in Castlevania without taking all of his best, actually not practically best gear, but taking all of his weapons and tools with him. And of course then Death comes and steals all that stuff away, meaning that Death isn't stupid either. Although what its exact role is can be a bit more complex. Shit, that was a bit mistake. Yep. Those are not actually anything you could say really important. But they are not actually in a sense nice thing to have. Secret boots, meaning there's also some humor in this game, mostly in these short item descriptions and some of the items as well. For example, those secret boots are something which you could, well, they got hidden heels. This quickly add increased height. Although how tall Alucard is hard to say. I'd say that because he is an you could say he's a handsome young aristocrat. He would be tall and have good posture. But of course, knowing his father is a bad guy and more supernatural, so his father is absolutely huge always. But most likely would say that there is some contradictory differences in size, as with Alucard being shorter than his father. And these are much more dreary places, the catacombs. Of course they are dreary. After caverns you go to even deeper underground to the catacombs. And of course, saving progress, even though these small little diplets... Yeah, that's scary looking, unpleasant looking. And a new boss. Cerberus. It shoots fire at you. Actually, it shoots quite lots of fire at you. And they are unblockable with your shield. But just burning it down, put it down. I was just able to tank through that attack. Oh, that's actually openable with a switch. Should I see? Do I have the relic to open it? Nope. I would need devil familiar to open that. Solemn witch. Quite. And there's also falling floors as well. And of course, knowing that if this game would not have all these RPG elements of you being able to make magics and all that, I'm certain that those solemn witches would be horrifyingly dangerous, horrifyingly unpleasant enemies to face. And those things, gremlins, well, they are quite much just exact what you would expect from the name. They are annoying as hell. And they are not even, in a sense, fun things to face. Now I have this ability to open that one door. They just go around with this swirling pattern and put up fires that you must break down with your abilities. Now I summoned a little imp. And I cut down at least one of those witches. Yep, nothing dangerous. Oh.
A switch. Why don't I press it and see?
Thank you, demon. That is the only moment you actually might need that familiar. So let's bring out the sword again. There's actually, if I remember right, there's 4 different familiars of which you could say that few of them actually do. One of them does have the practical purpose of being able to healing you, while the other does not. Others just attack. Some sort of weird plant monster human thing. That was actually much more dangerous, or actually more troublesome foe than it should have been. Ring of Ares. and some wall meat turkey with peanuts, barley tea, and power of sire. That's not misspelling. It is sire, not sir. Because well, there's a difference between words. Sir is just some sort of title or word you use for someone to make them feel big and important, but sire usually implies some sort of lordship, being a boss or something like that, or at least in some sort of horror with vampire, you could say that the sire is that which is your progenitor, as in to say in the classical Dracula novel, which is good novel, even though you could say that it certainly isn't, in a sense, grand literature. It's good literature in storytelling and writing. You could say that, and in that novel, of course, Dracula himself turns one character to a vampire, and you could say that Dracula is the sire of her. And in that novel, Dracula is also very evil man. He's ruthless and nasty bastard. And he's already got at least 3 other vampiric wives he's created over the years. So yeah, it would not even be the first that he's searching. It's not the first time he's searching. He might be searching for a female companion to his undead life. He's already done it at least 3 times, and now he's doing it for the 4th time, maybe. But maybe searching for it somewhere else. But that's the plot about the Dracula and the novel. Oh, more catacombs. These are actually one very dour place. And going to this direction. And these kind of save rooms which lead forward are a bit rare, but they are here. And there's cat eye, circlet, and bloodstone. Nothing particularly grand in here. And no need to save again, even though I should have gone further. But there is a long time since I really can't remember exactly what kind of things this game had in its level design, so I can't really remember it by heart. That's actually quite... And there's a shit ton of these pests. And it's just that the fact that killing those pests isn't even particularly fun. They're just annoying pests on your way, and you don't get much benefit, actually much, you don't get any benefit from having to deal with them. They're just hellfire beasts. That's a fancy name for a squirrel like you. And you didn't do me much damage, but you were an annoyance. So once I return to this path, I don't think I'm gonna stop fighting against you. Lossos. From what that name comes, I don't know, there's some sort of weird fire things. But I do know that in the original Middle-earth role-playing game, about which I don't remember when it was made, about sort of like 90s maybe, there's a, you could say, people, or nation of people, however you want to call it, ethnic group or nationality of cold-living, dwelling people named called Lossov. And they are not evil. And of course, Discus Lord. Yeah, you shoot your fucking huge frisbee or whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna just use my... Maybe I should... annoyance. Ballroom masks. Art upgrades. There's lots of upgrades in this this tunnel. Oh, now he died. But there's quite lots of this kind of quite annoying things, and if you wouldn't notice this to be a secret room, you're blind. Ice brand. That is just as much as its name tells. And no, I am not gonna fight with you again, mostly because I don't know how much of experience you are worth, and even though you are still not worthy of fighting. But let's just equip. The ice brand. And that blue flash is meaning it's ice damage, not slashing, it's cold damage. So let's just shoot some fire. Oh, fire burns that thing too. But these grannies should not like ice damage. They don't. Yes, there are some elemental damage affinities in this game, but mostly once you get further enough, you'll do so much of just your basic slashing or bludgeoning damage if you use some blunt weapons that there's simply no, in a sense, point trying to make use of elemental weaknesses, because everything dies just so fast. Which, in a sense, story-wise is very appropriate. Our god is immensely powerful. As in, you could say, I'm once again referring to the Netflix series, in which has our god in it. It's clear that there's only one vampire more powerful than our god, and that one vampire is Dracula himself, and Dracula himself is more powerful than any other, you could say, supernatural force. Looks like a boss room. It is boss room, and that's a huge boss, Grand Balloon. And it's nothing but a huge mass of bodies lumped together to such a huge cluster. It's just something out of Dark Souls. But it's also the fact that because they were able to make this much more adult. They didn't have to worry about Nintendo policies or anything. They were working for Sony. It was much less stringent about their image, about imagery in their games. But of course, knowing that Nintendo has eased up on that. But Grand Balloon is this kind of globule of unpleasantness surrounded by huge mass of dead corpses, which it drops. And it also managed to shoot all those nasty beams at you. But I managed to chop it off. And seeing this is PlayStation 1 era game, they did put some nice displays of this death and destruction for the bosses. Just to show you that yes, you killed it. And now we're gonna give you some nice big death animation, not just poofing out of existence. Which usually might be, it might work, but it usually wouldn't be, you could say, narratively satisfying, especially if the boss is tough one. But again, this game doesn't have so many tough bosses. Momajil. I really can't remember what that thing does. Well, this game has lots of swords, which, of course, most of them do the same thing, but it also has some very exotic and overpowered weapons. But they usually appear at the so-called inverted castle like the other boss presented. But I think I have actually shown all the bosses of this, except of course there is still progress in places for me to go. For example, that... Well... Yeah, sorry this boss, but I'm not gonna bother this fighting, because the next place to actually go to progress in this game is just a slight little deep little side corridor at the castle keep. Oh, I didn't remember that the flame attack that dude does is that far reaching. You know, I'm gonna chop you up just out of spite. And I think I'm gonna actually go to that little side corridor. In this place. Once I actually find a saving spot which works as a nice switch turning off point in terms of... Yeah, I have to tell you how annoying these gremlins can be. So much fire, and it doesn't even do much damage either, it's just annoyance. Bone arcs. Yeah, there's lots of skeletons doing all kinds of things. Weird skeletons with a weird floppy heads. I don't know where they get all these crazy ideas with these monsters, but they do have them. But with this, it's time to actually use the magic of editing again and go to the castle keep and see what's there. Actually, no, not the castle keep, to the chapel, to the side corridor, which I will, well, you will see it then, using the magic of editing again. Actually, it's time to scratch that, because I just remembered that there's a certain object that you would need certain kind of set of, you could say, key items. You need a way to get to all kinds of spikes, and to say you need to go scour this place quite actually thoroughly to get all the necessary things to find them. And there's slimes. And large ones as well. Because here is the room where you need the bat's echolocation ability. Because if you don't, you would have to navigate this place through the brute force, and that isn't too easy, knowing that this is not just complete straight room with all kinds of things to get through. No, it's actually a bit maze-like. Well, when you're going in the dark, you don't need much of path blocking. But once you get through, you get it lighted up, and then you can just go through it easier. But you do need one specific armor to get to the Royal Chapel's side room, which is of course, which makes it much more handsome. One-time use throwing weapons and something, not necessarily the most needed things. And this huge amount of damage is because I just equipped my Ring of Ares, which gives you a big boost in attack, but takes your defensive ability away completely. But then again, if you are good enough in this game, you don't need any passive defense. Spike breaker. Yes, this is the armor that I do need, so it's time to wear it as well. Yes, I just... And normally that would have done something like 1 damage, but now it did 20. So yeah, now it just becomes a glass cannon with Ring of Ares. Even though he normally is not a glass cannon, he is now. But somebody might like to do it. If you know this game well enough, you know that the passive defense is not so effective as not being hit at all. So now transform the miss form. Actually, I don't need to because I have the spike breaker. Yes, I can just walk through the spikes. Oh yes, they would be so great if there were more games with this kind of ability. Ability to just walk through the most... Well, there are quite a few games do have this ability. And for some reason, stepping on a slime did big doglet of damage, or however you want to call it. That's a weird word. I just figured it out. And this gamepad I'm wearing, using, wielding, deploying, however you want to call it, it's not bad games of the pad itself, as it follows the basic form of the PlayStation, well, having the basic form of DualShock controller since early 2000s or something like that, when they actually, before that, with the PlayStation 1 era basic design. But now it's time to use the magic of editing to get to the Royal Chapel.